Welcome to Rippin podcast. I'm TK.
I'm Brady.
I'm Brody.
You can find our socials below. We're on Instagram and TikTok. Follow us at Rippin Global.
Yep.
We've had an idea about starting a podcast for a while now.
Yeah.
6
Very long
months.
time.
So we're excited to get going.
It's more been me and you, Brody. We added in a couple days ago.
Yep, I'm a recent guest.
It
Yeah,
was an impulsive decision.
we're looking for a third co-host. So he's more of a part-time guy. He'll be on here and there. Huge douchebag. No one really likes him. So.
Yeah, but he was late, like half an
I
hour
was,
this morning.
I was 30 minutes late.
30 minutes late. So
Because he had to get a McGriddle and like his macchiato or something like that.
Yeah.
So
his job is in jeopardy,
That's
basically.
what you gotta do.
yeah, so.
Anyway,
applications.
so we've had this idea for 6 months. How did it first start?
I feel like we were just wanting to do something with our lives, you know. And me and Tyler have always been good at making conversation, getting
Yeah.
deep, stuff like that. So we just thought podcasts would benefit us. And at the time, and even now, we're still listening to a lot of podcasts, I feel like, and it just inspires us more to create a podcast.
Yeah. So we wanted to start a podcast. We knew that, but we thought we're just a couple of teenagers. What's going to separate us? So
Yeah.
the whole idea is we're going to be fishing while doing our podcast.
Keep
That's why
things
it's
exciting, you know.
Rippin Global, yeah.
So like, even if we have a dry day, you know, at least we're out in the nature.
Yeah,
We're out.
we'll pull some trout in, some bass.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be anything special. It's just like if conversation gets a little dry. Oh shoot, fish on, you know.
Exactly.
But yeah.
So how did it start exactly? We were in, was it Mr. Wood's class together?
Mr. Wood's class.
Mr. Wood's class, man.
You know Mr. Wood?
I do know Mr.
Do you
Wood.
have
He's-
him?
He's a great guy.
Do you have Mr. Wood?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
He's a great teacher.
He is a good teacher.
Yeah, so we were in Mr. Wood's class. I think we just decided one day we're gonna do a podcast.
Yeah. We're very ambitious, eh?
Yeah,
Let's say
we
that.
said we're gonna do a podcast. It's taken quite a while to get it in the works, but we're finally getting started.
Yeah, we did a demo just to sort of practice, get the feel of it, and yeah, we're not posting that, but
Rough demo.
This
rough
is the
demo.
pilot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we
pilot
had.
episode.
I guess you could say we had some unwanted visitors. Just playing.
Come
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. They're gonna listen to this and be like, "What the heck?" But now I'm joking.
Yeah, but we're gonna bring lots of different people on,
Yeah.
all kinds of guests.
We already
Jazz.
have. We already have some people lined up.
Have some people lined up. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, and some people that hopefully the viewers will actually want to hear from.
Yeah.
We're starting out or just trying to get the audience of our school and branch out, you know.
Can't really learn much from us, you know. So
Yeah, that's
we're
why
gonna
you
bring
have
some
guests.
people on.
And maybe some people want to know that view of an aspect from a teenager. Can help them out, and some teenagers are looking for advice, and maybe something we've gone through.
Yep.
And yeah, I think I'm excited. What is he doing?
Cowboys Nation.
He's
baby.
breaking out his little brother's gloves.
Dude, they fit me
Are you
so
cold?
good. Yes, bro. My hands
you really?
My hands are a little chilly.
Buddy,
My
well,
hands are a
next
little
time maybe don't wear compression shirts and let's wear some long
chilly. Well,
johns.
dude, I'm a little chilly. I'm saying. It's a cold day. It's a
Yeah,
win- it's a
you
windy day.
can say that.
We are
It's,
Cowboys
it's beautiful
Nation.
out this Halloween, actually.
These are actually my commitment gloves.
Yeah, you can say that. But yeah, we are just teenagers living life right now. I'm 17.
16 years old.
18.
Yep, and we're just trying to get things going, just trying to make a name for ourselves, you know.
We're in the middle of the ghetto out here in Utah.
West Shore, Utah. We're just trying to make it out the mud, you know. But yeah, we'll see where things go. I'm excited. We have a lot of things planned for us in the future.
So Brody, what are you looking forward to with this podcast?
I just want to make a difference, you know. I want to provide entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
Okay, cut the bull. Why are you really here?
I'm just trying to have a great time. You know?
What do you want, like a 25% cut?
A 25% cut.
Maybe
No,
10.
man. I'm just trying to have a great time on a nice Saturday morning.
Yeah.
A couple of the boys come out, we go fishing and have a conversation.
Exactly.
It's perfect out here except for the cars.
Come on,
You
buddy.
can probably hear
Come on, buddy.
the D-bags that cut their catalytic converter. But
Muffler, not a Cadillac converter.
well, they could take it out, you know.
Dumb idiot, man.
But
What do you guys look forward to out of this podcast?
Just what I said, coming out here, having a conversation with the boys. I'm excited for the guests.
I'm excited
Really
for the guests
excited.
too. They
It's
can
gonna
give
be
us a
cool.
good insight on life.
Yeah, really cool.
There's some people that have been through a lot that we're planning on having on the podcast. So I'm excited to hear what they have to say, and
They'll get us fired up. We'll get them a Rippin Lip hat.
yeah,
The merch is coming out soon.
The merch is coming out soon.
coming
You're gonna have to cop the merch.
coming out with a new logo.
Yep, new logo.
It's gonna be dirty.
What are you looking forward to?
Just meeting new people,
For sure.
learning new stuff about each other, and yeah, just having those deep conversations because I really like those, you know,
That's
just the deep conversations
That's what
with
I
the
love,
boys.
dude. Like meeting new people. That's so dope to me.
Yeah, that's good. Like we were talking about one time, just having a homeless guy on the finding a homeless guy,
Hearing
having
his
him
story.
on the podcast. 'Cause-
It's crazy because like every person has a story. Like that's what we were talking about.
true.
A full story. It's like I don't know. I feel like there's so much to learn. It's just dope.
yeah.
It's beautiful.
And just think, like, there's so many people in Utah we could learn from, but that's just Utah.
Yeah.
That's not even that big.
Well, yeah. So speaking of the plans, eventually we're gonna go global. We'll probably end up interviewing, I don't know, some dictator, China's
Kim Jong.
leader.
Kim Jong.
Kim Jong is the ultimate goal.
Kim
You know, we'll
Jong.
have to work small and work our way
Yeah.
up.
I want Donald Trump to sit in one of these chairs and put one of our hats on.
D. Trump will come out to Utah. We'll have the Secret Service all around the pond.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
cute. That'd
We'll have a
be
couple of snipers like on a couple of roofs, just in case. But yeah, I mean, who's the next podcast? Can we say, or the next guest?
Yeah, the next guest, it's going to be a trio, I think.
The truth.
Brody and his boys, the Wonderkins.
Wonder
The Wonder
Kids.
Kings.
They're
Oh, it's gonna be pretty.
You could say they're geniuses. They're prodigies at the stock market right now.
Young prodigies in the business world.
Definitely say that.
Are you fine with saying how much money you've made right now, or I mean,
Oh,
or
I
should
think we should keep
wait?
that a secret
We should
for this
wait.
podcast.
Yeah, we'll have to
That's
listen.
a good idea.
Who else are we thinking of bringing on? One of our coaches, Coach Martinez. That guy
And
has had
Chandler.
a crazy life.
Coach, maybe we can have them both on at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah.
That'd be
We'll figure that out. We'll have to talk to him. We'll
Yeah,
have an
sure.
athletic trainer from our high school that is right now. His last day was actually yesterday, and now he's going to the University of Utah to be a team physician. So that's exciting, and I feel like we could learn a
He's
lot
gonna
from
come
him.
on.
It's
Yeah.
a big step for him.
And we've already talked to him about it, and he's
He's up for it.
yeah, he is up for it. He's ready to rip some lip, you know.
Right on. How often do we plan on releasing some episodes?
Oh,
Yeah, so the plan is an episode a week. What day are we going to upload?
so we were talking about probably uploading every Sunday. Every Sunday, but we'll make the videos like Saturday mornings, like we're doing now, and yeah, upload every Sunday morning so that people have something to listen to throughout the week.
Right.
And like a lot of people that I've noticed, like they'll post like on a Monday or Tuesday, but like I don't see the point in that because it's like there's already been days past where they have to throughout the week where maybe they wanted to listen to a podcast like ours specifically and they couldn't, but that's why we're doing Sunday so they have the whole week to enjoy it.
We want to make people's Monday mornings better, you know?
Yeah, and
Exactly.
if something goes wrong with like the upload or something, it'll be fine because we're doing it pretty much like a day before the week starts, so we can hurry and fix it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so we're coming out. We're gonna make 3 podcasts. Make 3 podcasts before we post our first one, and then we'll start going from there every week, so that we just in case one week something happens and we can't make a podcast, we'll have an extra one to post, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're all on the football. Well, Brody's still on a football team, you know.
Oh, it was a rough.
Don't bring up our football career now.
Is this the 0-9 podcast?
Man.
It was a rough season.
Is this the
man.
0-9
Come on.
podcast?
It was a rough season, man.
I think that's a good thing to talk about.
I would like to avoid that.
Would you?
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing, but not everyone knows what happened behind the scenes and what was going on, you know.
It's just rough, man.
I think it's good.
Let's dive into it.
Yeah, I think we should, because there's a lot of people at our school that think, yeah, we're just a bunch of bums that suck at football, which
We
might
do
be true.
suck,
Might be
but,
true. But there's more to the story than just us sucking, and we definitely had more. We had a lot of potential going into this season, and
Let's dive into it. So paint the picture from.
let's
From
start
the-
last season.
Yeah, exactly. So from last season.
So last season we went.
4-4, basically, yeah.
No, we went 3 and. If you don't count, because it was during COVID.
Yeah, we got the COVID
So
shutdown.
there was 2 games, regular season games, that got canceled because of COVID.
Rippin and Jordan.
Riverton and Jordan. So in the regular season, we went 3 and 4.
I thought it was,
We
I
won
thought we
3.
played 10 games last year. We didn't have a bye week last year.
Yeah, but 2. So it was 3 and 5 then. 3 and 5.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because we played 8 games. Because Riverton and Jordan we didn't play.
I could have sworn it was.
And then
So
we got
we went 3-0. We beat Taylorsville, Hillcrest, and Cottonwood. Then we played Skyridge. We lost. That was our homecoming. No, it was actually
We lost to Juan Diego.
fourth week was Juan Diego, then Skyridge, and then Jordan got canceled. No, it was East. Then Jordan got canceled. Riverton got canceled.
Then Bingham.
It
Then we
was
played Harriman.
it was Harriman
Oh,
after,
yeah.
and Bingham was our last game. And yeah, we lost every single game after Cottonwood.
Yeah, so we got the forfeit win in the playoffs, so we ended up 4 and
Yeah.
6
Oh, that's
technically.
why. Yeah.
Yeah,
But we went 4 and 6, and then
played American Fork.
American Fork in the playoffs.
What was it, like 56-0? It was
That
terrible.
was an ass
It
whooping
was
for
like
sure,
second
man.
half, coaches just put all of our freshmen in,
Yeah.
and they just did their thing, sort of.
So straight out of the season, our coach was getting us fired up. He's saying we have this, not a great program, but now we have a base, we have a foundation of a team that can get wins, and that our senior season, our upcoming season, was going to be
A good one.
a good one. It was going to be a winning
Something to
season.
almost set the standard.
Yeah.
Write W's on a whiteboard. You know?
So that was in December, and we all bought in 100%.
Oh yeah, I think we were all.
we were locked into that season.
Yeah,
Locked in.
we were excited, and we were. You say brainwashed? I don't think it's. I think we truly like.
We were
believed-
committed.
We love the team. We love the sport.
Yeah, well, coach put together a schedule for us to win, basically.
Yeah,
The first 5 games were,
wins pretty much.
yeah, it was, in his eyes they were wins. He put them on the whiteboard, drew a couple W's, called it 7 and 3.
Well, even in
Yeah.
my eyes, they were wins. You know. They
Yeah.
looked
Yeah,
like
he
they
said
were
like the
good.
worst we could go is 7 and 3.
Yeah, that was the worst. So that was in December, and we all just instantly bought in.
Yeah.
So we were lifting.
We got a new strength and conditioning coach, which turned into our running back coach,
Coach Martinez.
Coach Martinez.
We want to have him on here.
Yeah, he is one of the coaches we want to have on the podcast.
Yeah, so we were
Uh,
lifting from pretty much December to June,
June, yeah.
and we were on squat every day.
We squatted every single day up.
Every single
And
day, progressive overload, slowly getting heavier,
I-
and it was hell.
I think it helped a lot, though.
Yeah, for sure.
I definitely don't regret squatting. I wish I did it starting my freshman year all the way to senior year.
Yeah.
I'd have had some bad knees, but I
Would have been
mean,
worth it.
my squat went up almost 200 pounds.
Yeah, so it was on a program of slowly getting heavier. So you would start at 60% of your max weight, and then slowly work up.
Yeah, it was like 5 by 5 the reps.
Yeah, and so we all went through the program one time, and that's when everyone made a crazy jump. They added
Yeah.
like 50, 60 pounds to their squat max.
What was your max? What would you say your max is now, or like your highest, like your prime max?
Now?
Just your
Or
prime
my
max. For squat.
I think I hit 245, 255 one time.
Okay, what was yours?
My max, 350.
Nice.
Mine was 335. Wow. I had 3 plates in 10.
Yeah, and before I was like 205.
Mine was 185 before.
I think mine was 185 too at the start.
It's cause like we weren't used to going that low on depth. I think
the other
that's
thing.
I think that's was my issue,
Yeah.
because like before we'd hit maybe like the 90-degree angle, something like that, and then they had us going all the way down.
So low.
Yeah. Below
Right.
parallel.
It was hard
Oh,
for me
yeah,
to
it
put on
was,
weight, man. It
Yeah.
was hard for me to put on weight.
It was
That's
tough.
And I think you know especially like I had a problem getting low.
Yeah.
At least for a while.
Everyone did.
Everyone did, but like I could not get low. I don't know why, but coaches told us like our hips were tight. That was my problem. Like you just walk and stuff.
Yeah.
So he had just had us at home. Some of us just do like hip stretches to stretch us out, be more mobile with that, and that helped me a lot. But
Yeah, so anyways.
back to the season.
Yeah, so we were lifting every single day, so we all had bought in completely. Like, we wouldn't have given everything that we had if we thought we were going to go 0-9, you know?
Exactly.
yeah,
So we believed that we could win. And then going into the next season,
So what'd you say about May?
what do you mean?
Like around May?
Yeah, man. Well,
well, once the schedule came out, that came out when February, I'd say around there.
well, yeah, and then they made some tweaks to
Made
it.
some tweaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a couple teams dropped us, and we had Cyprus and Jordan, both dropped us. Cyprus was because they had to add a region game because they had an extra team in their region, so they had to cut us loose for their extra region game. And then Jordan, I have no clue why they dropped us, because
Picked up Corner
they
Canyon.
picked up Corner Canyon, the best team in the state.
Got their asses whooped.
So yeah, I don't understand that. And in replace for Jordan, we picked up Lehigh. And then in replace for Cyprus, we just had a bye week. That's why we only had 9 games and not 10. But
So let's go through the season. So let's see. First game was Cedar Valley.
hold on, we gotta talk about June.
It talks
We
about
gotta
it
talk
goes
about June.
into it.
Yeah, you're right. Let's talk
June.
about the summer.
So, our head coach, he trusted us into like running our own practices and like having player-led practices all throughout June. And we knew some scooter
He
kids.
believed that we had the leadership to basically not coach the team, but like to do everything on our own.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think all of us were a little skeptical at first.
We weren't ready for it.
Yeah, because like most of the seniors, we were senior loaded last year to where almost all of our starting varsity and stuff was seniors, and so we had like no varsity experience. We didn't have much experience leading a team,
Yeah, not at all.
so it was a little hard. There was a lot of kids, I feel like, that just didn't have the respect for the captain, so they didn't listen.
They folded under pressure.
That was a big problem with me. It was just like I feel like nobody would like listen to us and stuff like that. I was like, okay, that's BS. But I mean, I tried to do as much as I could. But
Yeah, so we go all of June.
all of June without any. We just had lifts in the morning, conditioning, and then like whoever stayed after would like maybe run routes, or you would have to do
Do
sevens
some
if we had enough.
practice, yeah.
Yeah.
And then comes July.
July we hit SUU,
Yeah, so we went down to SUU for a camp.
and I think that was the highlight of our entire
Yeah.
season.
Like we did really good at that camp.
Well, we did good. We didn't like win every game, but
Yeah, but we
especially
competed.
at the very end of the week we were competing.
The goal line
we had a
challenge?
goal line
We were
challenge.
stopping
Like
teams, you know?
it was like king of the hill type thing on the 10-yard line going in.
I know, and like we always look at those crazy teams as just like invincible, like we can't stop
Yeah,
them.
like Timpview, they're contenders for the
Oh my
5A
goodness.
state. Weber, they're contenders possibly for 6A. They're ranked 5th.
And all these teams
I
have
think.
D1 kids.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And we were
Like
competing
they're
with them.
4-star recruits. Like Timpview's whole D line was committed to D1
Yeah.
schools.
They were good challenges. It was a great challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, so by the end of the week, like, well, in the beginning, we weren't doing very good, but we kind of expected that because we're a brand new team.
Yeah.
None of us have really.
It was our
played
first time in
varsity.
pads in the camp.
First time in pads.
First time in pads.
That was just something we did wrong too. We should have been in pads way
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah. And I think we had our pads. We just didn't. We didn't have coaches, so we're like, oh, we don't have to go pads, you know.
Yeah, but it seemed like we finally came together as a team at the end of the week,
Yeah.
and everyone was like excited, looking forward to the season.
We had high hopes going into the season
Yeah.
after that camp, because like in that King of the Hill, like we started off, they put us with like the lower teams,
Yeah.
like the not as good teams, and we destroyed.
They're on separate sides of the field.
Yeah, so like on one side of the 50, there was the better, one side of the 50, not as good teams, and we destroyed like
Yeah,
the
we did.
not good teams.
So then they put us with Timbu's
So
first
yeah,
team,
we swapped with Juan
Harriman.
Diego because Juan Diego wasn't doing that good with the good teams, so we all swapped, and we went in. I think we started on offense, and we scored every single time pretty much.
every time.
And they kicked us off. I think they said, "All right, you guys have been on enough."
Because we beat every team.
Yeah, we beat everyone, and like it was a surprise for us. I feel like.
Yeah, for sure.
We
And-
didn't know that we were on par with these really good teams.
Yeah, and these are like
No idea.
really good teams, and I was like so excited. I was
Oh, yeah.
screaming, I was jumping up and down, you know. I was
For sure.
fired up, I was dialed.
I was dialed, man.
Like I think did I throw a touchdown to you or was it Jake?
Yeah.
Was it you?
Yeah.
And then
That was the underplay. You threw one to Jacob for
okay,
against
yeah,
Timpview.
yeah. So we had like a rollout boot play. I threw to Jacob for a touchdown. You got a touchdown out under.
Yeah.
I got a scrambling touchdown. And I can't remember if there's any more. Cause when we got there, sort of towards the end of the tournament thing, so we didn't have much time with the better teams. Cause we would just run the ball with the bad teams, and then we just get it in. Like we didn't even have to pass or anything. So, but yeah, that camp was.
Yeah, so that
was
camp
fun.
got us fired up. We were pumped up, full of energy, excited to go into the season.
Yeah.
And we had the next week off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had the next week off and then came back for Hell Week.
Yeah.
I
Like,
would say it was
I'd
kinda
say
early,
was
yeah.
it like 2 weeks?
2 weeks of full pads, tryouts
Conditioning.
basically,
Yeah.
conditioning, everything.
But with that, what started to happen was a lot of kids started to miss.
Yeah,
Like,
because
our
we thought,
starters-
since we thought we were so good, we didn't think we had to keep practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just we got a little cocky. We didn't. Yeah, I don't know.
It was just like we kept seeing like improvement. Like we were kind of bad at first. You remember when we first scrimmaged Brighton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first scrimmage
got
against
worked.
Brighton, it was awful.
We got
But then we
shit.
scrimmaged them again, and it seemed like we played better. So
It was definitely
we were like
better.
improving.
Like when we played them at our house.
Yeah, we played them.
And
Garrison.
even with our, we sort of skipped this, but like the West Jordan tournament,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the sevens tournament,
Oh yeah.
like our offense was, we were pretty good.
We were doing good.
That's what, yeah. Our defense.
Not
was-
amazing, but
Our defense was definitely.
But
the,
like we were keeping up
factor.
with teams. We were keeping up with Orem,
yeah.
really good teams, and I mean yeah, we beat a lot of teams too.
Yeah, so people slowly started like not being as committed
Yeah.
because they didn't think it would make a difference. You know?
And I think like a lot of it was the last couple seasons, kids would do outrageous things, and they would still start
Partying every night before
partying
practice.
before games. They get high before like scrimmages and games, stuff like that. They'd miss like a week at a time. Like Lonzo missed like a week, and then they told him that he'd be suspended. Then come season, he's starting again. You know.
Well, no.
And
What
he
they
didn't have to do
said
much.
was they had that one practice where they said this practice is huge. Like we're gonna be looking for people to cut, if you're not there, like, you're gonna get cut. Lonzo didn't show up, so after that practice,
Everybody thought he was getting cut.
well, yeah, and coach said, he's like, do you guys remember? He said,
He's like,
tell
he's no
Lonzo to
longer
turn
on
his
the
stuff
team.
in. Lonzo's no longer affiliated with this program. Like,
And I think
then
he came
they
back
didn't
and they
follow
made him
through.
do like be a manager for like
he was
a
a
day or
manager
two.
for 2 games.
He missed the first 2 games.
Yeah, he missed the first 2 games, but he was supposed to be kicked off the team, and then he's
Yeah.
starting after that.
Yeah.
But so that just shows like
They're not
the
willing to follow through
punishments.
with punishments.
Yeah, the coaches never like really followed through with punishments.
Yeah. Except for this year, I feel like.
They're not.
But they weren't as bad at punishments.
They weren't hard enough on us.
If you
last
made,
year.
if that makes sense, like, so we, so like kids would miss the camps and stuff like that, and they didn't think much of it. Like the players didn't think much of it. Like obviously we wanted them there. We need the practice, but they didn't think they were gonna get punished or anything. But come season, like coaches tracked down how much misses and how much lates there were, and there was so many people.
It was crazy.
So they would have like a punishment, and then like they would lose playing time. So our first week, we were down a lot of starters
So
Oh,
many players.
and
So
a lot of our
many
linemen, and I think that was a big reason why we lost that game too.
Yeah, so we went into Cedar Valley. We went and
Week
played
one.
at their house and straight up got smacked, dude. 35-0.
Are they a 4A or 5A team?
5
They're
Yeah, we got absolutely smacked.
Yeah, that sucked. But
So like
like
after that game, it was kind of weird.
it's because we came into the season with such high hopes, and then like we thought Cedar Valley was gonna be light. You know?
Yeah, and like coaches didn't say that we could overlook them, but in a way we kind of did. It was kind of like we're gonna show up, we're gonna smack them, and we're gonna get the win, you know.
Yeah.
And then it's just gonna start off our winning season. And then we go in and we lose 35-0. So it was like the feeling after was kind of weird. It wasn't like, oh, here we go again. We're the old Copper Hills.
Yeah,
We're
it
gonna
was
go
like,
over.
Yeah, we didn't want to accept it at
It
first.
was like, okay,
And we shouldn't have.
It was-
we overlooked them.
And we kind of made excuses, like
Yeah,
we didn't have our starters.
We weren't like didn't have energy coming into the game and stuff like that.
Which is true.
We
Our
didn't.
energy
We were
all year
flat.
was awful.
Oh, it was so bad.
Yeah.
The worst. Quietest sideline I've ever seen. But
Yeah.
and then what happened next?
Murray.
It was Murray at
I
home.
think was our worst loss
Yeah.
comparatively to like the opponent's strength. You know what I mean?
Like,
were
because
pumped
Murray
up,
was
though.
probably the worst team we played. I
You
would
think
say.
so?
I would say.
Who do you think is the worst?
Viewmont.
I think Viewmont was better than Murray. I think we
I
played.
would agree.
I think Viewmont was our best game.
I think Viewmont was just the only game we actually played good in,
Yeah.
objectively.
I mean, first half of Harriman maybe, but that's about it.
Yeah.
That was
So
But yeah, so Murray is like never
Murray's
been
bad.
good. They're 5A. They're not a big school. Like they didn't have that good of players. They weren't that big. I don't know. We just
It's
and I remember our
embarrassing,
first
dude.
drive we scored. We drove down and
Yeah.
scored on them, and I got cocky. I did, and I think I jinxed it. I was like, "We are winning this game. We are winning this game."
Well, what happened was, so did we get the ball first?
Yeah, we got the ball first. We drove down and scored.
And we had a huge kick return.
Yeah. Well, I remember they got a penalty for not tucking in their shirts because they got a warning, and then they got a penalty, and then that drove them like back. And then the players that didn't have their shirts out, they made them go on the sideline. So all their backup linemen came in, and I remember I went on two, and ball started. Yep. And, I mean, they went off sides, and then we drove down the field a couple times just doing that.
Yeah.
So it was just like an easy drive, and then we just ran it in with Ryland.
And we were pumped, man. Was it 7-0?
It was 7-0.
I think that's the only time we've ever led, isn't it?
Yeah.
No,
it was-
were we up 3-0 against Harriman? But it wasn't 3-0.
Oh yeah, we were.
Yeah, but 3-1.
But dude, what I wonder is like, so it was 7-0.
It was 7-0. Then we
defense
stopped them. And then we got the ball back on our 20, I'd say. And then we threw like a screen, like a wide receiver screen. And then as soon as I threw it, it was a bad block by the other receiver. and the kid just got rocked, and I thought it was incomplete.
Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. Everyone said it was incomplete.
Oh,
right?
on Zach Nope, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Zach.
Yes.
He got smacked.
Yes.
I mean, he caught it and then got smacked.
and the ball dropped on the ground.
But he didn't take any steps. It was like
Exactly.
immediately.
So it shouldn't have been a fumble, but they pick the ball up and they run it back for a touchdown. And we're all
So
kind of like,
7-7. It's like, oh, it's okay. That was a fluke.
yeah.
And then,
Like,
I think they scored on offense.
But
the
we
next
quit every time somebody else scores.
I know. I just
Like
wonder
the
how
first
different
time
that
they
game
scored.
would have been. You know, if we would have
That
went
never
down
happened.
on that drive,
Yeah.
and the drive was looking good.
Yeah.
It really
Remember,
was,
I
yeah.
think we actually got to the 40 from the 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I threw one to you. It was like
Yeah,
it was like a joker or something like
It was
that.
under.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was
I
going
remember.
good, and then it was like, dang, bro. If it could be 14-0 right now, you know.
Yeah. And then we went 3 and out the next drive.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember if they scored or not, but quarter ended, we flipped sides, and our first drive, we did a tailback screen, and their DN like mossed Riley.
Oh, I remember the DN.
Oh.
The DN
reached
mossed Riley.
over
Like
Riley,
the
picked
DN
up
was
his
behind
face.
our running back, and I probably should have just thrown it in the dirt, but I was not expecting him to full on moss him. You know what I
He
mean?
reaches
Awesome.
over
Pick
Ryland's
six.
Yeah,
shoulders,
pick six.
rips it over his face, and
Pick six,
trucks
so
it and
then-
runs it in.
Is it 14-7 then?
I think it 14-7 or 21-7.
So pick six goes to 14-7.
Because I think they did score on offense. I think they had like a big run or something like that.
So 21-0 or 21-7?
I think it was 21-7.
Yeah.
And then
I
it just
don't
kept getting worse. Like we didn't score again till the fourth quarter, I think. I think Kitchen got a touchdown.
Our mentalities were awful.
It was so bad.
Yeah, we're not good from behind.
Not
Except
at
for Beaumont.
all. Dude, it's seriously like, it's like when it's 14-7 and everyone just goes, well, the game's over. Like they've won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Like,
bro.
We just
come
got the
on.
ball back. Like, why can't we
Exactly.
score again? We already scored earlier.
And when one person quits, it just keeps on growing.
Yeah.
I think it's
100%.
contagious.
Oh, 100%.
It was definitely contagious with our team.
Yeah, so we went on and we got smacked in that game.
By
44.
Murray, and that was like, what the heck?
And it was like
What
our
are we
home
doing?
opener. We
Yeah, I
were all,
remember.
It was our home
so
opener,
we
too.
too. We were like, what the hell is wrong with our
Yeah,
team?
what's going on?
And then
2-0.
Beaumont, it
We're
was
0-2 when we should be 2-0.
Yeah,
That's what we thought.
yeah. And Beaumont was,
It was better.
it was an exciting game.
I think we really decided that we needed to win a game,
Yeah.
and then we went to Beaumont. It was close, but
It
was
was
the funnest game by far.
24,
100%.
24-21.
no, 23-24.
Yeah.
I think.
No, 24-21.
Oh,
We
was
lost
it?
by a field goal, I think. Yeah, because
Yeah.
they kicked a field goal to end the
Oh.
half. So we scored. No, they scored because their quarterback went out as receiver, remember? And then he went on like a stop. And then he caught it, and
Yes,
Thomas
it was
missed
awful.
him. And then he just
Oh,
scored
yeah,
a touchdown.
That was like on the first play or something.
Yeah, it was like one of the
We'll
first
have to
plays.
add clips to this. Like, and we'll
That-
show them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we could.
okay.
We could. And yeah, we
Well, yeah, so that game was good. Like, we were competing. We were
Yeah.
like, it was a dogfight. We were going back and forth, and the last drive, we get an opportunity. It's 21-24, and we have an opportunity to at least go down and tie it or score. Because they punted, and we got the ball on 50 or
Yeah.
40.
but that drive, it was like our line was gassed.
Our line was gassed.
Our line was
so
gassed because
tired.
our linemen went both ways because we didn't have that much linemen
Yeah, our best lineman went both ways.
both ways, so
All-
they were
all season.
gassed. And I got sacked 3 plays in a row.
Well, what happened was, I think we had a good play. We drove like 10 yards, so we were looking good to set up a field goal at least. And then he snaps it over your head, right?
No, that was to begin the game. So
I swear he did at the end.
no,
You
cause
just got sacked.
so we were down 7-0, and then we had But you might have a fish. There's a big ripple right next to your thing. Anyways, we had a good play to begin the drive, and we kept driving down the field. We went down to like R20, and this was when it was like 7-0, and we had a fumbled snap. It went sky high above my head,
So high.
and I ran back. I picked it up. I didn't jump on it, and then I turned it around, and I was clobbered. I might have gained got another 3 yards, saved 3 yards, but
That game was full of missed opportunities. I think we had 2 dropped touchdowns.
yep.
by
Zach had the
receivers.
one.
Jacob had the other, which it turned out to be a
I think
PI.
Zach had 2. I think he had a
Did?
corner also.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember
See,
you
it's
had the
right
go
there.
route that was.
The fish is right there.
I remember you had the go route that was just bad. And that was the
Yeah,
other thing.
they,
a lot
they,
of
tell, they
that's-
put that on the
They
news,
put on
huh?
the news. I
They
got the
put that on
clip.
the news.
a lot of players.
We'll add that clip.
On the ensuing drive, the Grizzlies going to the end zone. Brady Wardle. Oh, thought he had a touchdown, but he can't hold on. Viewmont wins this game 24-21. The
A
final
lot of
score.
players were just in their heads all season too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had
for
the-
Sure.
I feel like we had the dropping plague.
There was a play.
Because Cedar Valley was
receivers.
bad. We had a lot of drops. And I'm not saying I threw perfect balls the whole game. I had a couple of good balls, but we had a lot of drops. And I think the biggest culprit of that one that week was I.
Yeah.
Isaac had 3-4 drops that game. But they snatch your bait? No.
Damn, she did get a bite. Shit.
Anyways, so we went. I think we ended up punting. No, we went on 4th down. Turnover on downs on that drive.
The very last one, or that?
That drive with the fumbled snap, because we were too close to punt, but we couldn't kick a field goal that far. We were on their 40, something like that, and we didn't want to punt. So we went for it, turnover on downs,
Okay.
and then I can't remember. Did Rylan get a touchdown first half? Was it 10-7 at half?
I don't remember.
Because right before halftime, they kicked a field goal to get to 10. I know they were at 10. But I can't remember if we scored first half. But coming into the second half, we went 3-and out our first drive. And then our second drive, that's when I threw the touchdown to Sir Royce.
Yeah.
For
Oh, I remember that.
63 yard or something like that.
That was sick.
That was pretty tough.
So
I got the whole
it was-
sideline hype.
It was like
Yeah.
the only game that was actually back and forth, you know?
Yeah.
That
So
was
we
so
came
fun.
back and I think either we were up or we tied it, something like that. And then I think we drove down the next drive with Zach. Zach had the 2
He had
big
2
catches.
crazy catches.
Yeah.
And then
dropped the second one.
did
You
he?
can see it
Oh,
on
they
film.
said he did.
No, they said
Oh,
he
yeah.
caught it though.
Yeah. Oh, really?
But
Yeah.
he dropped it.
But
Oh, other
it's
way
because he
around.
got hurt. And I think that might be a
Yeah.
rule. Like if you drop the ball because you get hurt, something like that. I don't know.
Really?
I've seen that before. It's I've seen that with do you know who Randall Cobb is in the NFL? I know it when you're playing high school, but NFL, he got hurt one play, and he caught the ball, and he fell down on his own will, something like that, but he fumbled the ball. Nobody
I don't
actually
know
tackled
about
him,
that.
but they let him keep the ball because it was because of an injury, something like that, and they almost let him go down on his own. He gave himself up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know if that's what they called or they just didn't see him drop the pass. But
So, that game, we choked 21-24.
yeah,
Next, we played Lehigh.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That was just bad.
Lehigh.
They
Well,
were
it
good.
wasn't.
They were a better team than us.
But they scored their first drive, and I think that was a big defensive
Or-
breakdown
Yeah.
because they let a lot of passes go. It was kind of bad. But
Oh.
you got one?
You took it.
And and it was the Lehigh. We scored in the first half. It was 7-14, and then I got hurt.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
Like
it was
a higher
7-14,
one-
and then
higher
No, it was 7:21.
was it?
Yeah.
I think when I got hurt, we were down a touchdown because we got hurt on our drive.
Well, I just remember it being 7:21, and there were people actually saying like it's over, like we're gonna lose. I was like, bro, we are still in this.
Yeah.
And that's what plagued the whole season. One touchdown and the entire team was done. Just check out.
Yeah. Then we had the bye after that, right? Bye going into region, homecoming game,
That was
So
it
we
was
had a bye
good.
right
Like
before.
what else can you ask for? Like
Yeah.
that's so good.
and then you got one, bro.
Got him.
Yeah, you got him. There you go.
Yes, sir.
Right on.
He's tiny.
Show the camera. Show the camera.
Oh yeah, pick her up.
Yep.
Oh, she's a beauty.
Right here.
Oh, she's a
That's a
little.
rainbow.
She's nice. She's
Oh, you
nice
got
and pink, man. That's beautiful.
Yeah. You want to kiss it? You're not gonna kiss it?
You're not gonna give her a kiss? Give her a kiss on the first episode?
No kiss.
No kiss.
Oh, is the dog hungry?
Come on. You go.
Oh, the guts. Go show her to the camera.
Oh yeah. There's... Not bad, not bad.
Ugh,
Oh, that's brutal.
Not the shirt.
That's brutal.
So we get to buy homecoming game. Who did we have?
Homecoming game we had Mountain Ridge.
Mountain Ridge.
They're a big surprise team, I feel like.
Yeah, because
Mountain Ridge is
last year
brand new school.
they were not it. And the year before.
Yeah, they never had a winning season before this year, and now all of a sudden they're ranked like 5th.
Yeah, they were great. They were a good team.
Yeah, so they came into our house. It was bad.
Yeah, I didn't play that game. Actually, I
Yeah,
did, but I played like the last couple drives because we had no other option.
Yeah, you wanted to play, but the coaches
wouldn't let me.
would not let him.
Because I wasn't 100%, but I was trying to play. I was padded up and everything. I was like there at the game, like practicing like I was starting, you know.
Well, yeah, and in the end,
I was expecting to start. I'm like, there's no way they're not going to start.
in the end, you proved that you should have been starting.
I should have been starting because we drove down the field a couple times when I was in, you know.
Their running back was great. He was tearing up our defense.
And he was their middle backer too.
Yep.
So
Mountain Ridge spanks us in region, so then we're 0-1 in region.
Number
Well,
five if I recall, right?
The thing is,
Dude.
after we went 0-4, like, I feel like we were all thinking, how could this happen?
because those first 4 games were supposed to be like our easiest
ones.
games.
But then coaches were like, we just gotta forget about that. It doesn't even matter. Like, we gotta go into
Clear our minds in bye week. And I remember the bye week
brainwashed us.
they did like a bunch of competition stuff. That's when we were doing like the
Yeah.
conditioning and the one offense against one defense, you know.
Yeah. So then again, even after going 0-4, we were like, we just gotta put that behind us, and we just gotta keep going. Like, no one really believed we were gonna go 0-9. Anyway, so
Like that's just crazy.
yeah. So then we
So-
lose to Mountain Ridge.
Mountain Ridge. Who do we have next? Was it Bingham?
No,
No, Riverton. It was Riverton.
it was really good.
Yeah, Riverton. It was bad.
No way.
Riverton,
was over.
they smacked us. It was it 28-0 in the first quarter?
Yeah. 28-0 first quarter.
Or no. First quarter it was 0-0.
Was it?
Yeah.
Then it was second quarter that was
Exactly.
28-0.
Second quarter 28-0. It's like, bro, what?
Like, how do
How
we
does
let?
that even happen?
Yeah.
We had that one like 3rd and 40 or something like that in that game.
I think penalties killed
It
us
was
that game.
brutal.
Penalties
it was literally
killed
like
us.
3rd and 40 or like
And
3rd and 40.
Discipline
game-
killed us the whole
That
season.
game, Rylan had the fumble,
Yeah.
and I think I threw one pick that game. I threw a pick. It was in first quarter though. This is the beginning of the game. And
Yeah.
I think penalties was a big reason why we lost.
Well, penalties are a discipline thing, and
It was a
Our
lot of
team
false
was not
starts. It
disciplined
was
at
false
all.
starts, and I think we had a holding on that one drive where we went like 3rd and 40, something like that. Wasn't it? Did you have a false start? I think one of our receivers did. It might have been
Isaac.
Zach or no. I think it was one of those guys. I can't remember. But, I mean, 4th quarter we scored twice. But it was against their JV.
Yeah.
But I mean, we didn't get goose egged.
yeah.
That's
After Riverton, we had Harriman, or no, Bingham.
Bingham was bad.
Bingham at home, 28-0 first quarter.
Yeah.
I think we got JV first or second quarter.
Something like
And that's
that.
when, I don't know, it was just
They
like, this is
took me
bad,
out.
bro.
They
This
took
is
me
bad.
out. I think the end of the 3rd, beginning of the 4th.
I think that's when everybody quit and just decided they were cool with going 0-9.
I know, people got comfortable. It was kind of like, how can you, like, just settle for that?
Yeah.
For not winning a single game.
Wow.
Oh, and what we also didn't talk about, let's see, when we went 0-4, or no, it was 0-3, all of a sudden, everyone was hurt, like, injured.
Well, yeah,
They all sat out.
I had a fractured tibia after Mountain Ridge.
I remember that, but that one was like, there was a lot of like injuries that I think they were sort of sugarcoating.
Oh,
you know what I
my.
Yeah,
mean?
it just
They were
shows our
exaggerating.
mentality.
Like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna put out names. That's true.
Don't say names, but it's just like
We know who.
You can
every single person on the team was hurting at some point or another.
every
So-
single person, and some decided that it was an injury, and some decided they could play through it.
Exactly. I
And-
love that saying, like, there's a difference between hurt and injured.
Yeah.
It's true.
And I had the same injury as Jeremy and Zach Rowley, and I played
You should play.
with it because it wasn't my throwing arm, so I was good. It was a sprained AC. But
So, after Bingham,
Bingham was Harriman. Wait, was it? Yeah, Harriman.
Harriman was
Then-
good. We showed up.
It was a
Harriman.
good week.
What was the score at half? 6-3,
6-3.
7-3, something like. Yeah, it was 6-3 because they missed the extra point.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were doing good. I remember the first drive. It was weird because we weren't doing good, but we drove down the field because Breath was out, our starting center,
Yeah.
for the first quarter because
of-
he missed practice that week. So we had Maka, and he was snapping it like late. So like we'd do a running play, and then I'd like go, and then everyone started going, and he'd snap it late. Then I'd catch the ball, and Ryland's past me. I can't hand it off anymore. So I just run the ball, and I had like a 15-yard gain and stuff. Like I had a couple good runs just from that. And then like we had a read option. I like pulled it on one and gained another good gain.
Yeah.
And then we had like this sticks to nope and stuff like that. We had a couple good ones. So we drove down the field, kicked a field goal, and then that was our only score that game.
Yeah, and it was like the score doesn't show.
The score didn't
actual
translate
play,
how the game
yeah.
actually went, because
We
it was
scored
like
28 in the fourth quarter
It
on
was-
stupid mistakes.
yeah, it was like
on my
35 to 3.
Oh yeah.
Well, no,
I'll,
a lot of it was me.
Well, he had that. He had
I-
the kickoff.
we'll put that video in and let the people be the judge of if it was.
No, it definitely. Bounced out of bounds, you know. But still,
yeah, I should have
Maybe
jumped
should've
on
jumped on
it.
it.
Should have picked it up.
And then I threw 2 picks that game. And both of them, it was like, I shouldn't have thrown a pick because it was like we were backed up on our own, so it just gave them a good chance to score. One of them was a pick 6.
yep.
The one to you on the curl. And then I threw one It was sort of a miscommunication between me and the receiver. I thought nope because they rolled into a one high. I think because he saw two safeties at the beginning, he could just cut up the middle. But they rolled down. One safety came down to be the robber, and the other was one high. So I needed him to go flat underneath him, sort of to because why would you run in the middle of the field towards the safety? You know what I mean? So just sit there or sit, and I threw it to where I thought he would be. He wasn't there because I was getting pressured. 45 on Harriman, he was on me all game.
So we lost to Harriman, and then
West Jordan,
senior night. Wow.
Did we score? You got a touchdown.
It was, I don't know, we were going into it and everyone's saying we got to get a win to go to playoffs. But people didn't want it.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people.
There was so much talk about, I don't even want to go to playoffs. I'm hurt. I just want the season to be over.
I think the narrative of our season was just selfishness and individuals,
Yeah. Worrying
There were a
about
lot of
ourselves and
individuals.
not.
We were not united at all.
We weren't a team.
Weren't worried about the other person next to us, And
Everyone's
I think
just playing for themselves.
I don't play defense. It's just Brody that really does.
Well, I got my position switched 4 times since the
Yeah.
off season. They were like, "Oh, I want you here."
We had a lot of switching around. We couldn't get good at one thing,
Yeah.
And I think last season, when we were juniors, they would add so much stuff.
Yeah.
On offense. And we had a new formation, new play style every single week. So it was we couldn't be good at anything because we barely practiced it.
Exactly.
I heard
And
we're
then-
going to run heavy this year.
We should.
I mean,
You have 2 good running backs coming in.
where's your line though? We didn't have a line.
Yeah, I think I don't want to blame it on one thing. I'm not blaming it on just that thing.
Yeah.
I think a big factor was
For sure.
our line.
And it's not even necessarily a skill, but they missed every practice, it felt like. There was always something to
I honestly, a lot of them, I don't even think they want to play football. You could just tell the way they walk and stuff like that. It's just just the way they carry themselves at practice and stuff like that. They don't want to be there. And it was throughout the entire season, so I just don't think they're into football. Maybe their dad's forcing them to play. I don't know. But it's they just don't want to be there. They're not enjoying their time, so they're not going to put in the effort.
And that was that. 0-9, just like that.
Oh, no.
From what was supposed to be at least a 7-3 season.
And I feel like there's a lot more that went into it, but that's just grand scheme of things. That's just a summary of what happened.
So what are you thinking about next season, Brody?
It's going to be a lot different.
You think so?
Well, dude, we've been lifting for a couple days now, and Dodds has been turning into an absolute military man. I mean,
Head
it's
coach
been,
Dodds.
It's been so harsh, which is, I think it's exactly what we need now.
Right
Yeah.
now.
Huh?
I think right now or okay.
Yeah. He's getting
Next
soft
season,
on
I feel
us.
bad for Hiram. I feel like he deserves just to be the QB because he's been here long enough and he knows. I'd like to say he knows the offense more than anyone on the team now. But now everyone's talking about having an open tryout for QB and stuff like that.
They are.
Peyton
Payne wants to try.
wants to try out.
Peyton has
Jackson Mary, he
Peyton has
asked
a
for my
strong
black
arm.
jacket because he's planning on playing QB next year.
Payne has a strong arm, but I don't know about his accuracy yet.
So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I still think Hiram's going to be the quarterback.
I say good luck, man. Have fun.
Yeah, he gets in his head a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know, just do what you can. And I heard Capelli talk there's going to be a big change to the offense next year.
Really?
I feel like they're going to go freaking
I-form or something.
No, yeah, a pro set.
They should.
Probably under center, I'd say. One more gun. It'll help out the running game a lot more. So,
A lot of our linemen are young, though, which is a good sign.
yeah.
Hopefully they'll...
Our starting center, our starting right tackle, and left guard were all sophomores. Our right guard, who was it? Atu?
Yeah.
Atu was a senior and D'Angelo was a senior. And then we had Charlie Smith that started like half the season.
And then we have Mason, Maka.
So Maka was a junior,
Brody.
Mason junior, Reith sophomore.
Reese was sophomore?
Yep. Then Casey sophomore. Charlie sophomore, Chiz sophomore. So we had a young line. So I think you guys like down the road.
Should be. We have a lot of good sophomores.
Sophomore class is really good.
Got Hogan.
Do you think they're better
Hogan
than our
is a
senior
baller.
class?
Hogan's a dog.
Do you think the sophomore class is better than senior?
We'll have to see.
I don't know.
It's too early to say, I think, but
Yeah.
They have a lot of skill, but they don't have. I think they have a lot of skill on defense, not on offense. Except for the running backs.
Yeah, on offense.
Except for the running backs. Kenny and Kitch are really good running backs, and Kitch will probably be QB because they can't get. I doubt they'll get Daniel back because they had a good quarterback, but then he just quit football.
And the other quarterback transferred.
Yeah,
Brady.
Brady and Daniel are gone, so Kitch is probably. I'd say he's gonna be QB. But I think with a couple of years under his belt, like this coming year and then his senior year, I feel like he'll get some good experience and become, because he wasn't even that bad.
Yeah.
He just needs to learn a little bit about the position. And, he'll be pretty good. He's a little short though. He's stocky.
Well, is that it? Should we call it?
I think we're good, yeah. Well,
Sweet. We're pumped up. I thought that went nice. It can only get better from here.
Yeah.
I would agree. I would agree.
so yeah,
That was fun.
if you like this one,
Make sure to
tune in. Yeah, tune in.
Listen, man, it's the pilot. It's gonna be a little bit rough, but once we
Shaky.
get comfortable, you know.
We'll get there.
And I feel like what we talked about will be good for the people that are interested in what happened. Because football is big for any high school, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even if you suck, like, that is still going to be the most people that shows up to a sporting event for that high school.
For sure.
Like, our student section is insane.
It's awesome. It's beautiful. It's a great.
Like,
student
for
section.
how...
I mean,
It's a great student
Sometimes the
section.
leadership isn't so good, but they
Well,
show out.
Not naming names, you know.
Some people will sometimes take over. I feel like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
They're sick of the BS that goes on in that student section, so they take over. And, yeah, it's like an anarchy in there.
Well, I was the only one who got a fish on the hook today.
I know.
You
I
were-
haven't even
Cole's just sitting there.
looked. Yeah, it's been sitting there for a while.
Oh yeah, it could be a dry spell.
Well, I'm looking forward to getting some guests on here. It's gonna be fun.
I know.
It's
Next
gonna
time
be
we'll have the guest.
It's gonna be
It's gonna
fantastic.
be good.
Next Saturday,
We'll start
put it in
pumping
your
out
schedule.
episodes.
100%. I'm gonna put in my schedule.
Same with the other boys.
Every concurrent
Let 'em
Saturday.
know.
Yep, I will.
Sweet. Should we
Yeah.
end it there?
Remember to follow our socials. Rippin Global.
Yep.
We have a TikTok. We'll start posting on there. We'll be posting like clips, maybe behind the scenes, maybe updates on, maybe
Uploads and stuff.
upload. Yeah, just stuff like that, you know. Then we have an Instagram. We'll be posting a lot. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. It's all a work in progress right now. We're still new to it. We'll figure it out down the road. But
That's
yeah.
all.
I like it.
That's all.
That's good.
Right on.
Right on.